Hello, friends and enemies. It's me, V. I'm currently in a stairwell and wanted to talk about what's going on, or rather, what's going on with me. I've been feeling meh, and by meh, I mean when it comes to things like people, or rather relationships, I don't know what it is. For whatever reason, I feel kind of like just, bleh. And I was talking to this guy, and I did not communicate what I expected out of this talking thing. And he didn't say what he was looking forward for or anything, and we both didn't talk. As a result of doing that, I saw some stuff that I felt was passive aggressiveness. And so then I took it to heart, got upset, and started crying because I felt like a jerk when I was not expecting certain things to happen. And like I stayed offline because I was like, I'm sick and tired of this happening and everything. And I realized that my expectations are different. If you were saying, hey, we are not together, we're just talking and doing whatever, I'm taking you at what you said. If we're just doing that, you cannot come up to me and be like, oh, how's your day? What are you doing? You just said that we aren't friends. We are not friends. We're talking, but we aren't, we aren't together or anything like that. So why are you talking to me like that? If there was a ideal of, talking that's leading to relationship or whatever, then sure, fine. But if you aren't telling me that, don't then throw in acting as if you're my friend when we aren't friends. And I take responsibility because I should have asked. I should have been like, hey, I really don't like this, or it's making me feel weird and confused because you're saying something that doesn't make sense. I should have said that. I didn't say that. I will make sure going in the future that I say it. I'm also seeing a lot more videos of people getting screwed over when it comes to relationships where they're expected to work 40 hours and then come home, clean the house, and have the mental labor of taking control of the kids, the kitchen, cleaning, making food, all that stuff. And if they don't, their partner, who is cis man, will say, you don't do anything. And the more and more I see, the more I'm like, am I actually going to find someone that agrees with me when it comes to relationships? Am I going to find someone that says, okay, both of us are 50-50. At the same time, I have your back as well as you having mine. I know that if you can't do 50, I'm going to pull 60 for your 40 or whatever. I wonder if I can find a partner like that. And that's the stuff I'm going through right now. The issue I'm going through is, what is it that I want? And what is it that I will and will not put up with? Because I started to slide back. And part of my sliding back is when things happen, I pull an Ozzy. For those who don't know, Ozzy was on the ultimatum, and Ozzy identifies as Ozzy. That's Ozzy's pronouns, Ozzy. Ozzy, when Ozzy would get when somebody would be like, where are we standing, blah, 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 Ozzy's plan was just to move out. Ozzy was like, nope. Ozzy would leave. And I realized in past relationships, when things would get, when people would hurt me or I didn't want to, upset things, I would just move out. I would just be like, okay, and I'd leave instead of communicating my feelings. And I started to communicate my feelings. And then with this, I went backwards. And I don't know why. I don't know why I went backwards when I was doing so great. There was a guy I was talking to before this guy, and I realized, hey, your values don't match up with me. You are not respecting my boundaries. You're like, let's meet at your house. Excuse me, sir. I don't need you to know where I live. You're saying that you're going to pick me up from my house don't know you, don't want you to know where I live, and then I'm trapped with you in a car versus the compromise of, hey, I meet you at this place where there's a bunch of people and then we break up. My plan being that I would go to several other places, so if you're following me, then we lose each other. But no. And I said to him, like, I don't feel like we're on the same match. Also, the fact that I want kids and you don't want kids. I wish you the best. But we again are not on the same wavelength. And I'm realizing I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. That for me is a deal breaker because I need to be a mom, but I also I don't need to. I want to be a mom. But at the same time of wanting to be a mom, I do not want to have my identity as just a mother. I don't want to be such and such's mother. And if I stay at home, my biggest fear and what I know of myself is I will put so much into my child or my children that I will neglect myself as well as my partner. I need to realize, and not realize, but I need to remember I am a mother, but I am also a person, and I was a person before this human came into the world. And once this human grows up, they need to be adults, as you know, they need to be humans and they have their own personalities, and I don't want to impose my personality or my thoughts onto them like it has been done to me in the past, or take over in the sense of I'm helping my kid without realizing I'm jeopardizing them and their thoughts and feelings. I also need to find a partner and ask them, why do you want kids? What are you planning to do once the kids are here? Are you helping me if I'm breastfeeding? What are you doing to help me while I'm breastfeeding? Talk about that stuff before having kids, because I don't want it to be where, and I bring up friends, I don't want it to be where, I have kids and then all of a sudden weaponized incompetence comes in where the guy's like, I don't know how to cook, or I don't know how to do dishes or clean up. These are things we talked about before I get in a relationship with you. If you have kids, I want to see what you're doing with your kids. You should not be hanging out with me 24/7 without seeing your kids. They are your flesh and blood. If you are doing that to your kids, and their mother, what are you going to do to me and our children if you decide this isn't it and leave? These are all things I have in my head, so I'm constantly working on it and trying to get everything in motion. This has been long. I'm going to let you guys go, and as always, fuck Tom Brady.